In one of the small cafes in the heart of the city, Clara was sitting next to the window, sipping her favorite coffee and watching the falling rain. She loved rainy days, feeling that they washed souls as they washed streets. In the other corner, from the cafe, Lucas sat alone, turning the pages of a book in his hands but not actually reading. He was gazing at people until his eyes fell on Clara. For a reason he didn't know, he felt a strange attraction towards her, as if she were a missing piece he had found. Clara noticed his gaze, so she smiled shyly and returned her focus to her coffee. But her heart beat in a way she didn't understand. It wasn't long before Lucas decided to gather his courage, so he stood up and went towards her table. "Good evening. Would you mind if I sat here? It seems that all the tables are occupied," he said with a warm smile. Clara raised her eyes to him and saw in his eyes a rare sincerity. She nodded, saying, "Of course, please." Lucas sat down, and their conversation began with an exchange of ordinary words about the weather and coffee, but it quickly turned into a deep conversation about dreams, books, and places they wished to visit. They didn't notice the time passing, as if the world outside the cafe no longer existed. From that day on, meeting at the cafe became a habit and grew between them. There is nothing like love, but it was too beautiful to be called that immediately. Waiting for messages, anticipating meetings, and the non-stop laughter were all signs that something wonderful was growing between them. And on a sunny day, after months of their first meeting, Lucas waits for her in the same cafe, but this time in his hand is a small box containing a ring. He wasn't nervous, because he knew his heart had finally found its home.